Good afternoon, everyone. This is Becky Bertuzzi from B Squared Graphics. I'm here with the DOYO Live Daily. A couple of things before I get into it. Don't forget, we're doing the guest bartender night this Thursday at Birdfish Brewing in Columbiana. We've got a good list of guest bartenders on tap, no pun intended. Hope we can see you guys down there to join us, and all of the proceeds will be benefiting the Rich Center for Autism. I know that Ralph Fajak from Steeple Nicholas will be one of our guest bartenders, as well as Bergen Jordani from One Hot Cookie, and there's a dirty rumor going around that Dennis Schiraldi actually might get behind the bar as well. So, this Thursday, Birdfish Brewing, 6 to 8 p.m. Come on down and buy some beer for a good cause. So today, what I wanted to talk about, and usually what happens when I decide what am I going to talk about for my DOYO Live Daily, it's usually something that has happened to me in the past. I don't know if anybody saw on my personal Facebook page, but I had a discussion about using Word to design something that you can use in Illustrator, and I wrote a blog post about that. So today what I'm going to talk about, and it comes up quite a bit, is a lot of non-design people don't know what vector means, and sometimes they don't know what high-res means. So I'm going to just take a few minutes and kind of explain what those two things mean and why it's important when you're working with a designer or sending anything off to a printer. So vector, let's talk about that first. Adobe Illustrator, what you can use it for is to create vector artwork. And what basically vector means is it's line. So when you create something that's vector, it's made out of lines, and it can be scaled to as large as you want or as small as you want, and it's not going to lose its resolution. So a lot of logos, actually most logos, should be designed as vector so that you can scale them accordingly. You can go in, you can change the colors relatively easy. It's not a picture. When you take a picture, it's really hard to go in and change colors of something, because chances are you're going to have to do it in Photoshop. So that's what vector means. So as a designer, if I'm working on something and I asked you to send me a vector file of your logo, I'm looking for an Illustrator file, I'm looking for an EPS file, which is a different version of a file format in Illustrator. PDFs can be vector as well, but I'm looking for that line drawing of your logo or your design element so that I can take it and scale it accordingly. So that's vector. High res. High res stands for high resolution. High resolution is normally 300 dots per inch or higher. So most of the pictures that are taken, you can take them on your iPhone, you can take them on a normal camera. Those are high resolution photos. Those can be blown up pretty big without being distorted or look pixelated, where everything looks really grainy and it's not very clear. When I'm creating a flyer or a brochure, I want high-res photography. So that means that it's going to look very clean and very crisp. Don't grab it off of Facebook. Facebook isn't high-res. Don't grab it off of Google Images. You can get high-res images off of Google Images, but it's kind of sketchy to do so. The general rule of thumb I tell people when I'm asking for something that's high-res is if it's higher than a megabyte, chances are it's high-res. Now the cool thing is if you're buying stock photography, you have options. I know that iStock Photo, it'll show you, okay, it's 8x8 at 150 dpi. It's 8x10 at 300 dpi. My rule of thumb is if you're buying stock photography, try and buy for the biggest application you'd be using it for. For example, let's say you want to put this awesome picture of an orange on a banner, and the highest resolution you can get is it's 11 by 14 inches and it's 300 dpi. Buy that. Don't buy the little guy, because when you go to make it larger, it's going to pixelate and it's going to distort. So that's my DOYO Live Daily today. That's my explanation of vector and high res. And in a couple of weeks, I'll have a blog post on bsquaredgraphicservices.com for you guys to read a little bit further into what those two items mean and how you can help your designer out by giving them the correct files. And I hope to see everybody on Thursday night at Birdfish. Have a good day, guys.